This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Monday, October the 1st. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, police were last night investigating their second shooting in St. Lucie within the same day. Up to news time, all the acting public relations officer, Station Sergeant Michael Blackman, could say was that a man and a woman were injured in a shooting incident near All Stars Cricket Ground and were rushed to hospital by ambulance. Now, earlier that day, police also had to respond to the shooting death of 40-year-old Dexter Lashley of Crab Hill. Station Sergeant Blackman said when officers arrived at the scene, they found the lifeless body of Lashley about 25 meters away from his home. Up to last night, no one had been held in connection with either shooting. Airline passengers flying out of Barbados to Caribbean destinations will start paying a new departure tax from today. The Airline Travel and Tourism Development Tax, which was announced in the June mini-budget of Prime Minister Mia Mottley, will see passengers moving within CARICOM having to pay US $35, while those flying outside of the region must now fork out US $70. The revenue gain from this measure is $95 million, with $75 million going to the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. and the Barbados Tourism Product Inc., and the remainder of $20 million to the central government. Also from today, a health service contribution at a rate of 2.5% comes into effect. Employers will have to pay 1.5% of incomes, while employees must contribute 1.0%. Prime Minister Mottley has said this measure would raise $45 million in a full year. And online transactions undertaken by Barbadian residents will also be subject to value-added tax from today. In other news now, a solution is in the works for the Barbados Fire Service, whose members have been complaining about a lack of promotion and a shortage of officers. The promise of help came yesterday from Home Affairs Minister Edmund Hinkson as he addressed a religious service at the St. Bartholomew Anglican Church to mark the start of Fire Service Week.
It has been brought to my attention that the hard-working men and women of the service diligently perform their duties under some very trying circumstances. It is also my understanding that the lack of promotions and shortage of staff is one of their main challenges, and the government of Barbados will seek to resolve these issues as soon as possible to bring comfort to you, brave men and women of the Barbados Fire Service.
Minister Hinkson also revealed that the skills of fire officers are being expanded to better equip them as first responders to handle rescues in high-rise buildings, emergency medical situations, and water safety.
The department has seen an increase in its response to motor vehicular accidents over the past 3 years, which has caused management to place an emphasis on pre-hospital care, as our officers are normally the first to arrive on accident scenes and often have to render assistance to injured parties. To this end, the department has trained 14 fire officers to the level of emergency medical technicians. Several officers are also certified basic life support and CPR instructors. The department is currently seeking to have automated external defibrillators placed at strategically located fire stations and on all of the vehicles, as these machines can add to the life-saving resources of the service.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has taken issue with the counter-proposals put forward by the Oilfield Workers Trade Union for the Petrotrain refinery, going so far as labeling them ridiculous. He said the OWTU's suggestions were not serious enough to change the government's decision on shutting down the refinery. TV6 News' Nisha John Mohammed has this story.
Prime Minister Rowley said there wasn't anything in the OWTU's proposal to change the government's mind about shutting down the refinery. He said while he understands that the union's interest is to preserve the state ownership of the business, the government's interest is to preserve the wider interests of all citizens.
And if you see some of the ridiculous proposals they are putting to the government, we spent a year and a half going through with a fine-tooth comb the innards of this company, and it's all about what it is costing the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
The Prime Minister said that there was little choice given the drain which the refinery had been on the economy.
And today, the end result is that the company is now threatening to bankrupt the country.
And on the international scene, Democratic U.S. senators expressed concern on Sunday over the reports that the White House was working with Republicans to narrow the scope of an FBI investigation into sexual assault allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. We pick up the story in this Reuters report.
The White House on Sunday rebuffing claims it put limits on the FBI's investigation into Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders telling Fox News Sunday the Trump administration is, quote, not micromanaging the process. Her statement coming less than 24 hours after President Trump denied an NBC report that he was restricting the FBI's probe, tweeting that he in fact wanted the Bureau to interview whoever they deem appropriate at their discretion. Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota, a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, agreeing with that sentiment, saying on Face the Nation Sunday that it is her expectation the FBI will question several people outside of the four named by Dr. Christine Blasey Ford as attending the high school party during which she says she was sexually assaulted by Kavanaugh.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Now you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.